saying? Especially children. We'll get into that particular aspect.
I want to ask you this now, because you mentioned this, the Orishas
Yeah.
are part of the demiurge.
Yes.
Now, a lot of these brothers walk around, they want to tap into the Orishas.
Yes.
So are you saying the Orishas are
Yes, let me give yes.
on our side?
Yeah, let me give you a brief history of that. You got Ola Dumare, who is this father, who is supposed to be the father, but he's more of a father of the astral plane. Legba, Ogun, Obatala, Shango have their hands on creating the earth. They shut Oshun out a little bit, but they have their hands on creating the earth. And in the concept of that, there's some pre-creation deities that are in opposition for them creating the earth. It's the same biblical story of, let me give you an example, the biblical story of Satan and his spawn saying, we're not going to bow down to man. You see what I'm saying? And God saying, you need to bow down to man. It's really a deeper story than that. We just get the edited myth, but if you get a greater mythology, that the Jews have our stuff. There's there's a book by the name of Rappaport. It's called The Legends of Israel, and in there they have an extended versions of this thing. And you find out in actuality this is a cosmic drama that's being played between Satan and his angels and stuff. And the reason why they didn't want to bow down to man in this particular thing is it's a greater story. They didn't want to become man. So it was rejecting becoming into a physical body. So bowing down was, get used to it, humble yourself, and be our slaves. But Satan just remembered, no, we're not that. We're gods of light. But they had to get used to this particular physical body. Well, it's the same thing happened in this Orisha myth. The one you want to get is a book called Good and Evil. What's the name of this thing? It's called Good and Evil in Europe or something. I've said it on some other thing. It's a book by a guy that's dead now by the name of Margie. And in there they talk about this struggle between these gods that don't want to be in the human form, and they go to battle with a Legbar and these crew who created this particular earth for them to be into. And as a result, the Legbar and them ultimately wins. It's the same story, which makes the Legbar and them these demiurge type characters. They are Olympian deities. So if you want to get a better clarity, you compare this with the Titan story, or the Titans not wanting to be cast down, but Zeus strikes them with an arrow and burn them up and then use their ashes to make man. You see what I'm saying? Those Titans are pristine deities that rule the universe prior to the younger group of deities who are subordinate deities that want to create this box job wonder world for themselves by using the older material to trap them down in this thing. So it's the same thing, it's the same demiurge material. I would say so there's several myths, but one of them would be the Titan myth. You see, one would be the Gnostic myth and all, and even the Egyptian myth in the coffin text. In the coffin text, they talk about Ra being old and feeble. He invites all the gods to dinner and swallows them all up. So we say, how can he swallow all the gods up? It's the same story of basically taking these advanced entities, inviting them to dinner, and eating them up, which means in actuality he trapped them into the realm of the physical and slowed down the vibration rate or the vibratory rate to trap these gods in the physical. We got one little piece that survives in the coffin text. The other piece to give you the indication that something happened was Ra overthrowing Apep, the great dragon, our former, the great mother. But then again, you have the pre-dynastic mythology going up into Babylon and surviving, where Marduk defeats Tiamat, the great dragon or the great mother. and used her blood to make the earth, her husband's blood Kingu to make humans. So we're still talking about a pristine ancient deity being trapped in these physical forces by some younger entities, our children. You see what I'm saying? Our particular children. And going back in because all this stuff coincides. You got to know about the demiurge and know about this death and know why we're trapped and know what happens after you die and the pitfalls.
Right.
So so it's the same story. In East India, there are the asuras, these pristine deities that are more superior than the devas. But the devas somehow trick the asuras to lose their foothold on the earth and turn them into demons afterwards. Well, what is it turning into a demon? The turning into the demon is basically being trapped in a physical body. There's no difference between the word demon and human. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Being trapped in a physical body. So the asuras got trapped and got duped into becoming humans by the solar devas who are their children. You see, who are their children? You see, same concept. Same concept of what's going on. So in so many words, when you die, you meet face to face up with this tragedy again on where your soul is going to go. Is it going to get reincarcerated back down here? Or is it going to set up the land in the land of the shadows, which is those particular entities that were outside the cycles of time? You see what I'm saying? And were safe not to come back. Now, fortunately, maybe the last 20 years, or at least I know the last 15 years, most of the cycles of reincarnation have been broken. Most of the babies that come to this planet are souls that have been in transition for at least 50, 60, 70, 100 years. So they were in the cycle of transition, already coming back to the planet. But most of the ones now that expire are not trapped into the cycle of reincarnation. In so many words, this so-called astral life or astral plane, because one of the words for the demiurge is called plane. So this astral light or this astral plane has worn thin. It is petered out. It is petered out. You can tell based on the seasons being off. Is one of the indications. One of the indications and stuff. And so, as a result, a lot of people have broken the cycle of reincarnation. And they don't have to come back. So that means it sets up some type of way station that was set up before the ultimate reality of all this stuff dissolving back into this new world. And as a result, we know the last couple of years, that particular way station has become an oasis. You see what I'm saying? It's become an oasis. They're partying all night and all day. And stuff like that. So they're partying all night and all day and stuff. And meanwhile, the demiurge of these particular beings have lost their foothold on the earth, and the only thing they're doing at this particular time is they're surviving through the ignorance of the people. So these people are doing mass rituals, not just Orishas, but to the Christian aspect and the worship aspect of religions, and through religions, because even that Yoruba thing has become a religion. They're doing all these mass worships and stuff, and in so many words, they're giving the demiurge their energy by keeping the demiurge alive, because the demiurge can only survive through the image or through the thoughts of man. In this case, the lower thoughts of man. So in so many words, the demiurge is nothing but forms of ego that's outside of the body.